Start lying on your back with your head on the bolster, knees bent, feet on the floor, arms and hands resting comfortably by your side. Allow a few moments to transition into a different mode of awareness. A different pace of body and mind. A different quality of presence. As this begins to happen naturally, let your eyes softly close. And once you feel a shift, even the slightest bit, from where you were 5 minutes ago, physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically, or simply in being more present. Then interlace your fingers under your head or under the bolster, or palms face up under the outer edges of the bolster. And connect the soles of your feet together. Let your knees open to the sides in Baddha Konasana. With a soft, neutral, curious attention, scan your whole body. Top to bottom, front, back, inside, out, surface, deep, and any muscles still holding on. Anything that's still active or engaged. Let it relax. So everything is passive. everything is surrendering to gravity. And being held by the ground beneath. As we go along, of all the ways that you could be using and exploring interior muscles of consciousness, mindfulness, which include thinking, analyzing, planning, worrying, creating, I'd like for you to be using the feeling function. So as you're continuing to have your attention with relaxing the physical body under gravity against the ground, bring your awareness into contact with what you feel. The function of feeling is also not the same as merely observing or noticing. You can observe what you feel, you can notice what you feel without fully being in touch with the texture, the fabric, the vibration of the sensation itself. So for now, and we'll expand it in later sequences, keep your attention with the physical body, top, bottom, inside, out, front, back, surface, deep. In particular, what you're feeling. What sensations are there? Where they are, how they are. To what degree they are. What quality they are. Good. Now, switch the interlace of your fingers if they're interlacing. And cross your legs right over left, Sukhasana. If you need to lift your knees first to take a little break, and then resume with legs crossing right over left, Sukhasana, feel free. If at any time also you like to take a little break for your arms, hands, shoulders, just release by your side, let the sensation pass, and then resume. Once again, notice if any muscles are holding on besides the autonomous breathing apparatus, heartbeat, blood pumping. But in your neck, in your hands, in your shoulders, in your abdomen, in your hips, in your legs and your feet. Everything relaxing passively. And a restful, neutral, curious, gentle awareness of the physical body and sensations arising within it. As long as the sensation is mild to moderate and manageable, then let it be there. Even if it's awkward, if it's something you've never felt before, even if you would interpret it as uncomfortable. If it's mild to moderate and manageable, no need to do anything with it, just feel. Good. Keep your fingers interlacing the same, and switch the cross of your legs. So left over right, Supta Sukhasana. With fingers interlaced under head or under bolster, or palms face up under the outer edges. Notice how your overall experience and approach to your body, to sensation, and to the practice in general. How that changes when you give yourself permission to simply feel and not need to do anything with what you feel. Notice also how your overall experience and approach changes when you have your conscious attention mindfully participating in the process moment to moment. Rather than just laying in a position and then checking out or being distracted, thinking about other things. You're trying to figure out what to do with what you're feeling. The simpler, the better. Good. If your fingers are interlaced, switch the interlace again. Now would be a good opportunity if you'd like to take a little break. Release your arms and hands by your side. Again, if it's more than mild, moderate, manageable, then just release, take a break, let it pass, and then resume. Don't try to avoid anything. Don't try to make the sensation go away. Don't wiggle or fidget or shake it out or stretch it out. Just a simple response. feel what's coming, feel as it passes, and then return. Because we are having arms overhead for a reasonable amount of time in this sequence, feel free as we progress, and as I say, switch your fingers again, to, if your fingers were interlaced, just have your hands palm face up under the bolster. Or, if your palms were face up under the outer edges of the bolster, and some new space has been created, you can then interlace your fingers. Or bring your hands under your head if they were under the bolster, or vice versa. Now, connect the soles of your feet together again. Supta Baddha Konasana, knees open, hips open, outer edges of your feet open against the floor very passively. Once again, this would be a good opportunity to lift your knees if you need a little rest for your hips. And then resume when you're ready. Now, from that function of feeling, as effortlessly as possible, as subtly as possible, begin to move your low back towards the floor beneath. Doesn't have to be all at once. And don't necessarily think abdominal work or core engagement. That will probably be a part of it. But mostly just think low back towards the floor and engaging whatever muscles are required in the most minimal, effortless way to make it happen. So it's a more mindful approach than physical. Keep the breath fluid and flowing, but maybe it's moving more into the upper chest now. As you continue refining the movement of low back down and down and down, stitching front body, side body together, feel the effects in your hips. Feel the effects in your knees. They may be lifting slightly. Besides the engagement in your core, or wherever else is necessary for the low back to move down, everything else is still relaxed and passive. And feel what's arising as a result. Again, awkward, uncomfortable, strange, new. As long as it's mild, moderate, manageable, stay with it. The more neutral you can be without judging, labeling, interpreting, or trying to fix, and just being curious, just connecting your consciousness with the feeling itself, where it's arising, how it's arising, to what degree, what quality, what texture. Simpler the better. You're not doing anything with it, not running any stories about it, not trying to fix anything, just experiencing. Good. As subtly, slowly, and mindfully as you moved your low back to the floor, let it return naturally to a neutral position, away from the floor. Feel that movement of release as all the fibers return to passive and relaxed. And feel the kind of upsurge, upwelling wave of prana, blood flow, energy, and also a deeper sense of restfulness as a result of very precise engagement. Good. Very slowly, mindfully, lift your knees. Bring your feet to the floor. And once again, one last time, either switch the interlace of your fingers and or change to another position of arms and hands overhead, relating with the bolster in some kind of way. Either fingers interlaced under your head, under the bolster, palms face up, under the outer edges of the bolster. You can even do one of each if your shoulders are very asymmetrical in either range of motion or intensity. Good. Starting with your knees bent, feet on the floor, I want you to kind of heel toe your right foot to the right. Notice as you're doing that, and walk it as far to the right as you can without totally distorting the pose. Notice your right knee starts to fall towards the midline, and the inner edge of your right foot comes to the floor. The outer edge of your right foot kind of naturally lifts. Good. Feel the sensation here. Some combination of ankle, knee, and hip. This might be a nice sweet spot where there's some interesting, mild to moderate and manageable sensation arising. Or you could adjust and refine it a little bit. But again, not trying to make something go away, not trying to make something feel better, but just intuiting the sweet spot by which I mean the right heel could come a little closer to your right hip. The right foot could come a little closer to the midline, but the right knee is still falling towards the midline passively. This is called an internal rotation of your femur bone in your hip socket. Don't think about that conceptually, but feel. Feel how it's an internal rotation. Feel what your femur bone, your big thigh bone, is doing in your hip socket. Now, if it's all good, particularly in your low back, then slide your left leg straight forward on the floor, relaxing. If at any time sliding your left leg straight forward on the floor, relaxing, brings up something more than mild, moderate, manageable, then just bend your left knee, bring your left foot back to the floor. Once again, full body scan. Up, down, left, right, top, bottom, front, back, inside, out, surface deep. Any muscles still trying to help out, let them go. And notice if it's been easy or challenging. To keep your mind in the mode of feeling. Of course, thoughts have been coming and going. Maybe some emotions have arisen and resolved. Maybe some conceptualizing has happened. That's all fine. But consciously, as much as possible, as often as you can remember, you are intending to use the interior capacity, interior muscle, if you will, function in consciousness of feeling rather than anything else you could be doing. And anytime you catch your mind, your attention, doing anything else, you return to the direct experience of the sensation. Any sensation you like. Doesn't have to just be the primary, obvious one. Sensation of your back body against the floor. The sensation of your belly rising and falling. The sensation of your clothing against your skin. The sensation of the fabric of the bolster. Sensation in your hip. Tingling sensation in your fingertips. Sensation of your stomach gurgling. Sensation of your heartbeat. And what's that feel like? Good. Now, same as before, with minimal effort, move your low back closer or all the way to the floor. And just feel the results, the effects in your hip, in your knee. Most likely the right knee will lift a bit. The hips will stabilize a bit. So you can also feel the shape that your body's in and how it changes as a result of the progression of the poses. Good. Now, subtly release the low back to neutral. Notice the right knee drops a bit. And now, with minimal effort, press your right knee more down towards the floor. Be very mindful with this one. It's totally fine for the knee to twist a little bit, but especially if you have a history of injury or surgery in your knee, then too much twisting could exacerbate it. So still do it from a feeling mode rather than doing, rather than a lot of effort, rather than trying hard. Just feel the right knee moving down closer to the floor. Good. And now, find kind of a finesse balance of low back moving down and right knee moving down. But doing them both, most likely, neither will go as far down as it did on its own. Let go of any ideas as to the reason you're doing this, what this is good for, what this is helping, what this is hurting, and simply feel what's arising. Mild, moderate, manageable, let it be. Good. Slowly release. If you've extended your left leg forward, bend your left knee, foot to the floor. Heel toe and shimmy your right foot back to neutral starting position. Coming out of postures and in between sides is just as important as being in the posture. So feel the effects as you've released. A deep upwelling of sensation, of release, of restfulness, of energy, of presence, of connection that was not here when we began. Heel toe your left foot to the left and find your angle on this side. Very passive at first. Extend your right leg if it's all good in your low back. And as a reminder, for the long amount of time that we've had fingers interlaced, Arms overhead with the bolster. And we are almost finished with that. Feel free to take little breaks, but not wiggling, not fidgeting, not trying to make something go away or feel better. Be in direct contact with the sensation itself. And if it becomes more than mild, moderate, manageable, you just respond by releasing all the way, let it pass, and resume. Even if you have to do that 10 times. Good. Very subtly, with minimal effort, low back down. Feel, not just notice, not just observe, not think about, feel the effects of that. Very simple. Feel the actual sensation of the floor beneath you. Feel the change of shape, the sensation in your hip, in your knee. Anywhere that it's arising, however it's arising. Good. Slowly release low back to neutral, and gently, with minimal effort, left knee towards the floor. Good, now find a combination of both. Low back down, left knee down. Very good, slowly release. No need to rush. Let the effects of that engagement arise. Feel them fully. And then heel toe your foot back to the midline. Bend your right knee, right foot to the floor. Both knees bent, both feet on the floor. The moment we've all been waiting for, release your arms slowly, mindfully, gently by your side, aware of the amount of time and the depth spent in the shoulders. So move at the pace appropriate for your body. To unwind the shoulders, to let the feeling come back if they've become numb or if your fingertips are tingling or falling asleep. As far as physical position is concerned, at least, we are back where we began. But you've gone through a pretty profound journey so far. So feel what's different now from the beginning. What's here that wasn't? What's not here that was? Good. Roll to one side, whichever side calls you. Press yourself up, take as much time as you need. Come all the way to standing and take a little walk. Just let your body move very naturally through space. Continue in feeling mode, the floor, your feet, your hips, shoulders, neck, spine, physical environment of your room. And then, as you're ready, come back to your mat, and I'm going to have Christy and Garrett each do a slightly different setup. So Christy, bring the bolster to the front edge of the mat, away from the wall, stay standing. Garrett, move the bolster all the way to the wall. And stand behind the bolster. Garrett, face the wall. These will be two different options that you can choose from. You can back all the way to the wall if you want, but bring the bolster with you. Yeah. So one is just utilizing the wall and one is not. The one that's not utilizing the wall doesn't have to be a particular distance away from the wall. Now, Garrett, touch the wall just for balance. And then both of you, with your right foot, step in the middle of the bolster with your toes and then heel on the floor. So right heel on the floor, toes on the bolster. Good. Mindful that you're stepping as far up onto the bolster as you can, with your heel being able to reach the floor. Good. So these are just the two options if you need to use the wall for a little stability. One is not better than the other. Good. Have your feet more or less hip width apart, and you can start with your left foot a little further back if you like. Keep your right knee straight. And again, with your attention on sensation inside of your body, particularly most likely in your right ankle, calf, knee, hip situation, based on sensation only, not trying to get a certain stretch, but mild, moderate, manageable, interesting, sweet spot. Then you can explore your left foot a little further up, a little further up, a little further up, maybe even tucking your left toes under the bolster. Still in the same function of feeling. As you've been the entire sequence. Notice if that's more challenging when you're standing up, simply because of conditioning. Standing up, walking around, relating with the world from the frontal lobe, thinking analytical self. Can you be standing and not thinking, not doing so much, just feeling, just being, just present? Not trying, not reaching, not fixing, not labeling, not judging, not interpreting, going on sensation only, and adjusting and refining with that. And still being curious. What's arising? Where is it arising? How is it arising? All you have to do is feel it. Everything else is neutral. Everything else passive as possible. Spine, shoulders, arms, hands, face. Good. Release. Switch sides. If you need to take a few steps in between, feel free, but not a long walk, just a few steps on your mat. Again, not to shake it out or stretch it out, but just to integrate. A few steps. And then find it again on the left side. Incorporate everything in your experience in this feeling sensation mode, including the air cloaking itself around you on the surface of your skin. Including the sensation of the light in the room or the sunshine as it contacts your pupils. Including the sensation of the space itself. The feeling of your overall environment, how you're relating with it differently now. Different than normal, most likely, even though it may be the same space that you're in every day, because you're approaching it differently. You're approaching your body differently. Good. Release. Take a few steps if you like. And then come to kneeling on your mat and set up Virasana. If you need to fold your mat for extra padding, feel free. Have your knees hip width, tops of the feet on the floor, toes pointing straight back. Heels outside of your hips, so as you begin to lower your hips, go ahead as you're ready. You're not going to sit on your heels, but between them. Feel free to either sink your hips down towards the floor like Christy's doing, or to sit on the end of a bolster like Garrett's doing. Let your arms and hands rest however they want to. Palms can be down on your thighs, or palms up, or hands folded, or arms and hands hanging by your side like Garrett's doing. Spine, shoulders, head, neck, face, everything neutral. And for a few moments of quiet before we move to final Shavasana, feel, deeply intuit the culmination of the sequence and all the work you've done interiorly and exteriorly. Everything integrating into this moment, into your body, into your mind, stitching itself into your awareness as a new norm, a new reality, a new intelligence, a new connection. With every breath, every moment from here on out, let go even more of trying, of thinking, of doing. Feel your system preparing for final relaxation. Letting go, letting go, letting go of anything extra. And then as you're ready, make your way onto your back with your head on the floor, bolster under your knees. Legs relaxing, hip width, maybe a little wider, over the bolster. Arms and hands by your side. If it feels natural, allow a few deep breaths to come and go. With each inhale, feel more integrated, more whole. With each exhale, more relaxed, melting, melting, melting against the floor. Close your eyes and just rest. begin to bring subtle movements to your body, deeper and deeper breaths, eventually a big stretch in all directions. Take your time making your way to seated, hands at heart center. Namaste.